Alrighty, should be up and running. I know that there's a slight lag. We just do a little bit of a refreshy refresh. Cool. We are good. And we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the negative 2A 1G pod or live. This is a little thing that may have to happen every now and again because I know Andrew is a busy man and um, yeah, he's got a vacation coming up pretty darn soon. That being said, I just wanted to do a little test live stream, make sure that everything works. So far, everything seems like it works on this end. Thank you, Fuhat. I see that you're here, and in time. This is just more of a like a step back type of live stream and a more relaxed like hangout of sorts and make sure that I'm not too much of an idiot. So with that being said, I want to present the most important thing that I can ever present. Let me see. um do 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 Alrighty. This is profound. This is very profound. Okay, so cool, that works. Anyways, yes. So, alrighty, yeah. So I can present. Wonderful. I should be able to have the next negative 2A 1G live stream will be far more structured than this. But in this case, about me, even though we did have a recorded video, I'm just an accounting student. That is why the negative 2A part is applicable. I count myself as negative two accountants because I'm not, nothing professional here, nothing beyond just a little bit of academics and just hobby researching on my own end. I figure transparency is very important, and you can make of that what you will. Thankfully, Andrew is certified, has professional experience, so at least you got someone legitimate. Um, that being said, you know, as far as going forward, I would like to work in the government accounting space, and as such, these live streams will be relatively informal, as you can tell by the shirt. But they'll hopefully will still be some value add because the spirit of this channel, as Andrew explained it to me behind the scenes, was that that we've come across a lot of questions that are, some of them have been basic, some of them have been intermediate, and some have been more on the advanced uh, level. And these questions have been somewhat regular, so that's the spirit of this channel, is to give a little bit of an accounting perspective and a little bit of a finance perspective. That being said, the end objective is, while the end objective is to reach those questions, and hopefully everybody has some value add and learns a thing or two, at least for the time being. uh, if we all step back here and think about it, is it enough? And maybe not. When it comes to the end objective, why is anyone asking? Well, what is this company's accounts receivable, or does this company's income or revenue for this quarter or time period matter? Um, I think most of the time it's asked out of a curiosity for investing purposes. And while yes, I am in that same boat, I will dabble. I view this, my pursuit in accounting and finance, of a point of curiosity also. Like, I'd like to learn more about the world around me. And yes, the accounting and the finance are very important. You do need an eye for the past, the present, and the future. So that way, you can at least figure out, hopefully give yourself a better fighting chance of maybe not losing money. Maybe you got an okay shot at making something. But is that really enough by itself? Probably not. There's far more questions, and I know that Andrew and I by myself will try and tackle that the best we can, or individually or together. That being said, though, keep in mind that this is negative 2A. I am very fallible, and that being said, though, I think that that me being open and honest and transparent as much as I can be, I will try and correct any errors that I can. Any future guests that if we end up doing that, or if I end up doing that for the negative 2A part of this channel, I'm not a gotcha guy. That being said, though, if I do have a guest on, I will do, like a pre-call type, behind the scenes stuff. If people are familiar with Capital Mindset and Fabio, I did a interview with them uh, about a year ago, thereabouts. Uh, and Fabio was nice enough to do that, and nice enough to indulge me with like coordinating some pre-questions, so that way everybody had a good feel for the structure, while there's a little bit of flexibility on those things. So so make of that what you will. I mean, like, there have been better podcasters out there that have accidentally had frauds on them, that and they didn't know that they were frauds at the time. People had FTX on their podcasts, and did that impair the quality of their podcast? Some may say yes. I say, just you as the viewer, do the best you can, and judge, and continue to do your research. Like I said, I am very, very mistake prone. It's a miracle if I go a week without, like, stubbing my toe or something, or pulling a door when it should be a push door, or is a push door. So, that being said, I will take a look at some of the comments, live comments. Hello, hello, hola. Uh, Good seeing you, big Parma. Hi, Lincoln. Not enough alcohol. That is fair. Fabio will be going live relatively soon, so this isn't going to be crazy long. Uh, yes, I do know where I'd like to work. It would be government accounting. More so, anything regulatory in nature is where I'd like to work. Just because of my previous time with the military was a combination of law enforcement and security. So I'm my dumb brain. Feel free to criticize this in the comments, or correct me, but if I'm able to have the academic portion of accounting and finance, and also a professional background in some law enforcement, I can try and give myself a fighting shot of being an attractive applicant for a role like that. Um, so that's what I'd like. I'm not opposed to any sort of audit, for public accounting. But that being said, though, I think in my specific case, given some of the details that are not directly salary but salary adjacent, it kind of makes sense. Da, 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 da. Uh, oh, I'm not calling out anybody. I am just a guy. I am just a guy. Alrighty. So, oh, interesting. People have actually replied on the poll. That's cool. Righty. So, yes. That being said, if you see negative 2A 1G, odds are it's probably something that I am spearheading. Maybe of dubious quality, but hopefully there's at least some value or entertainment add. Uh, and yeah, like, for whatever it's worth, it's something that I myself am curious about, or just explored, and maybe it's something that other people might find a little interesting. um but yeah, so the negative 2A 1G, did the intent and spirit of the channel, which, again, just keeping in mind that it's up to you, the individual, and how you want to do things. I I personally am biased, and personally am allocated heavily majority indexed. And yes, while I do have some individual holdings, like, this channel, at least as far as I've understood it so far, is not going to be any sort of, like, pump and dump. Um, if we are long or short any holding, or completely neutral, it's more so incidental. We're just here to talk about things from a conceptual, and in other cases, conceptual and practical approach, for whatever that's worth. So, if you wanted buy sell alerts, no, no, we don't do that here. We're we're just here to talk about, just those things. And oh, fun question. Yes, I have seen his videos about ranting about working for the government. That being said, my previous job by definition was with the government. So it's, no place is perfect. Whenever there's people and a lot of people, you take the good with the bad. And that's, maybe this is me being a little too political to try to, give myself an okay chance of things going forward. And I can't speak for or against Strongman's uh experience, because I want to say he worked with NASA besides us having the same broader departmental, well, not departmental, but broad agency rather, over us. So I can't talk about NASA because never really was in there, or never was in there, never even like tangentially was in or around there. So it's, uh, that being said, though, it just something that I see, and again, I could be wrong. Alrighty, so future topics. This one hopefully is the most value add. For those that don't know, there's one topic that is near and dear to my heart, which is which has been called, quote, interesting but not very useful. That would be rebalance timing looks. So just a little bit of a taste. I'll have far more organized system as far as how I do this. Like, I will actually rehearse for this. It'll be smoother. I'll give myself some pauses in between to interact with people from a live stream perspective. That'd be cool. Uh, but yeah, yeah. So that's the immediate one. That will be sometime next week. I'll try and have a pre-set up thing on with StreamYard, which should in turn translate well into Google. Give people plenty of time for a notification. Blah blah blah. The boring back end stuff. I'm doing what I can, doing the best I can, and hopefully it translates into a good enough product. But yeah, like, bigger term with this channel, we have a healthy amount of like one-off topics. uh Joint venture accounting would be one of them, that uh it's quite a challenge. Like, I've already done a little bit of digging into that one, and it we're going to need a flow chart for that one. There's just no way around it. Some people may love flowcharts. Other people will probably roll their eyes, but it there can be possible value in that. If you're interested in a company that has a joint venture and the company possibly is viewed as undervalued or mispriced, maybe you can take advantage of that. Or maybe there's a company that has something that, joint venture that is, people are overly bullish. Again, we're not here to give you buy sell alerts or any sort of like necessary recommendations, just more so what we see, maybe what we think. But yeah. Oh, there's a good question from Lincoln. Yes, yes. Over time, I recognize that my setup is horrible. Uh, I am using a laptop that is on its last legs, and my mic could certainly be a lot better. But again, this is, as of right now, it's just a little hobby. If it grows into something more, that'd be cool. I am not opposed to improving the quality of this. I would, I'll, I can't promise or guarantee, just because Andrew has his own life, I have my own as well. But I would really like to try and give out at least one thing once a week. Um, I can't promise that'll necessarily always be good and perfect, but hopefully it's something that you see that I've put some time and effort into, as far as some thought. And while the presentation, the audio quality, the visual may not be great, the content and the merit of what is being said and how it's, or how I'm trying to express it, is one where you can see the effort and hopefully appreciate it. If you appreciate it, cool, great. Do the things like comment, subscribe, stick around. Be sure to give feedback, plenty of feedback. I know I have stuttered around, stammered around, and probably will continue for a while. Because doing this solo, not necessarily an easy thing. That's why I've been just been fortunate enough to be a guest on certain people's live streams and channels and whatnot. I consider myself very lucky to be in those positions. Oh, song reference. Thanks, Buhat. 56% voted the right way. Hi, Dex. So yeah. A little bit about me, a little bit about this specific format within this channel, and future stuff. Future stuff as far as broader based. We are. I it may have been Sleepy Andrew at the time, but I did mention also like from a structured series perspective. If anyone has read a 10K or even glanced at a 10K, besides the financial statements, there's always parts. Part one, two, three, oftentimes, and usually, part one is the company saying something to the effect of about us, oftentimes legal risk. So we'll try to do we probably will try and do that at some point for sure, just because one, it gives us as creators some thinking time as far as like the priority of what gets out. That would be cool. um, and yeah, so that's probably like one potential series that may end up happening, and of course, we as like us as people, wanting to do a healthy blend of what we'd like and also what would be value add to you, the viewer. We'll try and dabble in a little bit of things here and there. So that's I just would like to say that the intent and spirit that I'm coming at this from is a healthy blend of what Andrew, what the two of us would like to talk about, and of course, naturally, what you, the viewers, will comment in lives or hopefully comment in comment sections, or even behind the scenes. In the description, I have Andrew and my own, like our each individual Twitter accounts for whatever that's worth, or X. Uh, I probably should get around to making a channel, Twitter. That would be smart, wouldn't it? Yeah. um. Anyways, uh, go bacon. You need to side. I wouldn't go that far. I am the sidekick. I am just a guy. Uh, Hopefully they don't physically sleep on you, Fuhat. That may be uncomfortable. Perhaps a talking monkey with French accent. That'd be funny. Uh, Favorite investors. Ooh, that one's interesting. There's a lot of people that I respect, and people that aren't necessarily, the quote unquote investors, because I've noticed that there's a debate around the words trader and investor, and I respect anyone that can consistently make money, or like at least has a system that they consistently work with, and they that they it's not so much that they are necessarily like pig-headed and doing it, because you can have a horrible system, and should you be applauded for having a horrible system? No. But so there's that, and actually is a great segue, Henry Cohn. Apologize if I butchered the last name. uh, that yes, negative 2A1G. Thankfully, because Andrew was nice enough in the channel description, that we're not just handcuffed to accounting, also to finance, and in which case I would love to talk about things like quants. I'm not a quant, but I happen to enjoy some podcasts and some content from people that are more quant minded. So that is a topic that may come out in a negative 2A1G video down the road, or live stream. But yeah. So my respect goes out to many people. Of course, Buffett, rest in peace, Charlie Munger. Those are the obvious, kind of boring ones that some people may say, but my natural value-ish bias is the one where I am inclined to like older Buffett, and as I've tried to break my own bias and my own perspective, I've come to appreciate people like Peter Lynch, Stanley Druckenmiller, and also what Charlie Munger himself brought to Warren Buffett and Berkshire more is that it's real easy for someone to view themselves as this is my circle of competence. Oh, Nvidia or some other thing has run up a whole lot. I'm gonna judge. Like for me, looking at me myself and then looking at the world around me and how big the world around me is, it's one where that's silly. Like it just doesn't make sense. So plenty of other people that I'm forgetting that have legitimacy to this. Uh, the CVS 10K told me that they're using AI in robotics. Hopefully, it works out for them. They've been having a rough go of things. That actually may be a fun topic also for negative 2A 1G thing down the road. Just because like it would. I'm not saying anyone necessarily here would do it, but I think we can all envision a person being like, "Oh, Walmart and CVS, those are stable, boring companies. I can just put my money there and it will be safe." Well, if you're a little bit more in touch with the news and try and study these companies, you'll know that there's a lot of moving pieces besides just the brick and mortar pharmacy. Um, so maybe that would be the case. Like it's also fun to think about things like CVS and Home Depot and how like comparing the two may not necessarily be fair or perfect because the customer bases aren't necessarily the same. Like they definitely have changed over the years, and like that doesn't really fall purely within the realms of accounting and finance, does it? So hopefully this can be a little uh oddball like little bucket of things to go with. um Peter Lynch, Buffett, Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio, he's a curious one because I get the appeal that some people have for him and his framework of thinking. Like anecdotally, I've been curious from like a portfolio construction perspective, and I thought, wow, Ray Dalio's all weather portfolio. That's great. That's amazing. And when you do some more digging and like look around at some other people's works, and you realize a person named Harry Brown. I'm not saying that these portfolios are the end all be all. You should throw money into it or you should short it. But Harry Brown's permanent portfolio is very very similar in both concepts and kind of with execution. Dalio has his own little spin to it. So make of that what you will. Uh, Not to badmouth Mr. Dalio or anyone else for that matter. Stop the count. um, do other people. Oh, Fuhat. Like Fuhat, I know you like to play around with financial services companies and banks and private equity. Not my cup of tea, but it's a market. Like maybe a person with a value bias, assuming that they do things the right way, they can have periods of severe underperformance, severe overperformance, or outperformance. There's maybe it's momentum and trading, more of a shorter or intermediate term time frames that you can really do great on with certain things. Like that, those would be fun topics that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, market's big. Plenty of ways to make and lose money. Uh, so, just I suppose it's being careful with what you do and who you are, and just being aware of these types of things. Uh, that is funny, Captain Ibida. I don't I don't think Andrew's like fully been just EBITDA, man. Like for whatever that's worth. Yeah, because he cares a great deal about like a company's gap net income earnings and their cash flows. And we've covered that topic a fair amount of what's more important. They're both pretty darn important. Da, 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 da. Fuhad is a quant. um, Yeah. The timing of this video and me saying talking about Nvidia not being judgmental, I'll stand by it. Like it could run up again. It could continue going down. It could go flat from here. I don't know enough. Like I, it's just semiconductors are a tough space. It certainly can be very cyclical. Like I when I say that I'm like it's not my space. It's not my jam. Like there are things that I'm aware of, like for example, banks, commercial banks. I say I'm not good at it. I grasp the concept that interest income, one of the important things, quality of book, very important, credit risk, duration risk, what have you. I grasp these things conceptually, so I'm not necessarily clueless. And yes, from a content creator's perspective, I may be that dopey everyman. But and Andrew knows this. Andrew knows that I will ask questions for the benefit of the audience, and I've done that also behind the scenes, and I will continue to do so when there's a more broader audience. Just because not everybody's at the same level necessarily, and I'm not saying I'm at this godly level because I am not. I am just a guy. uh, oh yeah, those receipts. Those receipts are long as hell. Um, greatest stuff. Greatest investors. I want to say I heard Ruben Studd, but I don't remember. Um, yeah. So that being said, did anybody have any other questions? I guess about me or about the channel. If not, I will call it a day on this live stream. Spoiler alert: Fabio said that he should be streaming roughly about a half an hour from right now. Right now is what, like 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 Eastern time zone. So, if you're not subscribed, Andrew is connected with Capital Mindset. Uh, while I'm a member of their community, I do not have economic or financial interest from there. Uh, Again, I am just the guy. Uh, if this thing somehow does get monetized, then yes, I know that there's a structure, or there's kind of like a sort of a gentleman's agreement that you know, maybe if this thing somehow does take off, cool. If not, like if it stays relatively niche, I'll still be happy, just so long as people get some sort of value out of it. People also like help me get better. That'd be really really cool. I'd be quite happy as well, because I'm of the opinion where if I'm wrong or when I am wrong, because again I am me, I will be wrong at some point. Just a matter of time. uh, I want people to correct me. Like that is like the greatest like thing ever. Like don't get me wrong, I am incredibly critical on myself, but uh, if someone's nice enough to take the time to explain something to me and tell me where and how I'm wrong, like then that chef's kiss, beautiful. Uh, so yes. Yeah, that's right. 100K subscriber special. I'll do a first name reveal, even though like my first name kind of probably is floating around there. It's probably not crazy hard to find. Um, uh, will you be pitching it on Bill Huang's bill? Bill Huang. Yeah, there's a guy. There's a interesting guy. I should end the poll, shouldn't I? So, 40% of you said that the oh shoot. You see, this is why this is a test thing. Uh, yeah, I ended it, and I'm not able to pull it up off StreamYard. But, anyways, is Two Accountants One Gaps a misleading channel name? 60% of you said I am Spartacus. 40% of you said no. So 40% of you think think that the name is all right. That is very kind of you. But I figure a little bit of like deliberate and committed transparency is a good idea. Because I don't want anyone saying, like we're claiming something that we're not. And hopefully you, the viewer, keep that in mind and account for that going forward. That'd be cool. Oh, small Gabriel, everything money. Uh, Hello, Michael. It's okay that you're late. You didn't miss out on much. It's a simple little test live stream. The next one I will have again. I'll aim for sometime next week, probably Friday or Saturday for whatever that's worth. I appreciate you all choosing to spend your time on this Friday with me. And that being said, feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this stuff. And hopefully, I'll see you all around for the next one.